Sounds like someone is panicking, and and this is hilarious. I am a high value married man over here. Let's get into it.
Loneliness epidemic. It is an epidemic of undateable men. Click on the comment, go to his video, watch the whole thing. I'm gonna add some text. The amount of men that have come into my comment section and they're just like, well, we've chosen not to date. We want to be single and at peace is alarming. And it's alarming because this isn't necessarily solid.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the women are alarmed because they're losing their grip on the control. That's why they're alarmed.
A dating epidemic or a dating issue. This is an issue with just men in society in general. Because men in general need to have emotional intelligence, they need to have emotional permanency. They need to have the social capabilities of being in relationships that are not solidly just like romantic relationships.
As a married man, this is what I have achieved with my life. United States Army combat veteran, college graduate with an associate's degree in pipe fitting technology, certified and degreed pipe fitter, former correctional sergeant, retired, 45 years old, married. I've been retired for 6 years now. I retired at age 39. The year I retired was 2019. Um, and I got married in 2023. Let's continue the video.
They need to learn the skills to be in relationships with friends, families, coworkers, people in general. And they are choosing to not learn those skills. And while society may not have taught them in the best way possible,
I've already been learning those skills. It took me a decade to learn how to talk to women. I was a virgin in my 20s. I started dating in my 30s, got married in my 40s. From the time I was in my 30s to my 40s, that's when I started mastering certain skills.
well, guess what? You have a choice. And you keep choosing to not want to grow within yourself if you are that type of a guy. And it's harmful to society because you have taken your hurt and your pain from prior relationships and
Let's talk about the hurt and pain some of these men are going through. A lot of these women set these men up for divorce. They take their homes from them. They take half of everything in their bank accounts. You women couldn't even do that to me. My money is fully protected and then some. I retired before I got married, meaning I earned everything before I got married. My wife already owns her own house. This is a 3 bedroom house. My wife bought it and paid for it completely. There's no mortgage on this house because of my wife. I brought the money, she brought the house. We combined her house with my money. I am buying a second home that will belong to me in the next decade, completely free and clear, cash. Okay? Um, us men, we do bring something to the table.
and maybe your mom, maybe your dad. I don't know. There's a lot of things that can go into this, and you're projecting it and deflecting it onto women in general, not just those who you think you'd want to date or you don't want to date or whatever that commentary is.
I have never had enough issues with a woman to have any kind of hatred or ill will towards the female sex. Um, but I'm smart enough to see what these men have gone through, and I have put things in place to protect myself from those things to happen to me. So I've learned from other men's mistakes, but I personally don't harbor any bitterness towards women because I've never had a woman do to me what some of these other women have done to other men because of the precautions that I took. In other words, I raised my standards so high, a lot of these women cannot compete with me. That's what it took to keep those women out of my life.
The woman in the Starbucks line or the barista, the person at the cash register, all of these women, you are projecting your hurt and your pain with. And a lot of times, too, what you're doing is you're masking it anyways, and you're trying to be nice, but at the same time, you're trying to be demeaning. So it's not just the fact that you are undateable because you haven't grown to become an adult human, you don't know how to cook, like mac and cheese and hot dogs and Del Taco every night of the week is not cooking and it's not healthy for you. You're not looking inward at yourself and saying, hey, how can I be healthier? You're sitting on your ass, you're playing video games all day, or you're watching.
I retired I play video games 24/7. Of course, they go to oh, you're playing video games. Yeah, I do play a lot of video games, but I to have what I have in my pocket, you need to be well over $80,000 a year. You need to gross over 80,000 a year to have what I have in my pocket. When you're over the equivalent of 80K a year and retired at my age, you can do whatever the hell it is you want to do. The play. I mean, these women are mad because I can multitask. I can play the video games and live my life at the same time. And they're mad about it because they want to bring up they so bad want to bring up the video games are holding you back and you can't do anything while you're playing video games. They so want to make that argument, but you're dealing with a man that has an extremely high IQ. I I'm capable of a lot more than what you think I am. So that argument with me personally goes out the window.
Porn, or you're doing all of these things that are negative to your mental state, and then you're turning around and you're getting on with.
In 5 years, I will be a Taekwondo master. I hold 2 black belts and 2 styles and a blue belt in karate all at once. Yeah. So in 5 years, you will address me as master. That's how that's going to work.
Women's pages on social media, or you're talking to women in public and you're showcasing how little work you have done on yourself and how little you've been able to grow with society. That is the bigger issue. It is not just about romantic relationships. It is about men in general who have failed to move and evolve into what society needs now. It's not.
I have evolved beyond anything. A lot of these people have become. A lot of you can't keep up with me. You heard the qualifications I used to have, right? I'm going to say it again. United States Army combat veteran, college graduate with an associate's degree in pipe fitting technology, certified and degreed pipe fitter, former correction sergeant. I hold 2 black belts and 2 styles, simultaneously a blue belt in karate. I retired at the age of 39 in 2019. Been retired for 6 years. Got married in 2023. Met my wife in 22. Got married in 23. I drive a 2022 Honda Accord Sport, and that car will be paid off in the next year, a year and a half from now. I am going to double pay that car note and pay it off in a year and a half. Um, I have I have virtually no debt. Once the car is paid off, that's the last of the debt. Once the car is paid off, and in a year and a half, and um, I have over $2,000 a month in expendable income. So all of my money is not tied up in bills, and I'm not even broke. I will never be broke. So I don't know what these women are talking about. And I'm married, so there's no loneliness epidemic over here. Wishful thinking, though. Wishful thinking. But anyways, carry on. Ladies, I have one thing to say. I am out of your league. So good luck with making that argument with me.